A whisper of light tore across the void, a signal so faint that the galaxy had long assumed it lost to time. It was a distress call, ancient, fractured, and desperate, sent by a civilization on the brink, meant for anyone capable of answering. And then it reached them. Humans. The galaxy had counted them extinct, a species erased from history by war, famine, and the cold indifference of the stars. Yet deep in hidden sectors, in shadowed shipyards and secret orbital stations, humanity had endured. Against impossible odds, they had survived. Against the cosmos' harshest trials, they had thrived. And now, answering a call they were never expected to hear, they moved with purpose, engines glowed pale blue, casting spectral light across debris fields and drifting asteroids. Massive warships shifted from silent docks into the black, hulls gleaming with the scars of past battles, systems calibrated to perfection. The Deadworlders did not rush. They did not announce themselves. They prepared, and in preparation, they made the galaxy take notice. Alien patrols detected the movement, sensors flaring, automated systems scrambling, fleets recalculating. These were not mere ships. These were predators awakened. Fighter wings wove through the void with precise arcs, carriers held protective spirals, and frigates flanked with quiet, lethal authority. Every action, every position, every pulse of energy was a statement: humanity had returned. And the universe would no longer underestimate them. The stars themselves seemed to shimmer in acknowledgement, distant nebulae reflecting the sudden presence of a fleet that no one thought possible. Humanity moved as one, patient, deliberate, inevitable. The galaxy had assumed they were gone. The galaxy would soon learn they had only been waiting. The human fleet surged forward, engines pulsing steadily like the heartbeat of a predator fully aware of its domain. Each vessel moved in perfect harmony, an orchestra of steel and light, their formations twisting and shifting with a precision that no alien calculation could anticipate. Fighters arced gracefully around massive carriers. Frigates adjusted their positions with surgical accuracy, and the lead warships glided with a deliberate majesty, reflecting nebulae and distant stars across their battle-hardened hulls. Every motion was a testament to discipline, foresight, and a species honed by survival against every conceivable threat. Alien fleets scrambled to intercept, launching drones and patrols, activating shields, and recalculating attack patterns. Yet every move was anticipated, every strategy countered without a single weapon being fired. Drones vanished into ripples of warped subspace, targeting arrays returned fractured data, and automated systems faltered under the weight of human precision. The Deadworlders commanded the void not with firepower, but with presence, calculation, and unshakable authority. The lead human warship, immense and angular, pulsed with an energy that radiated both menace and control. Its shields bent light into fractals, engines emitted a soft but deliberate glow, and its hull reflected nebulae in shifting, iridescent patterns. Observers across the galaxy understood instinctively, this was no ordinary fleet. This was a force of intellect, coordination, and ruthless patience. Every ship, every formation, every subtle adjustment conveyed a simple truth: humanity had returned to the stars, and they were predators of space. Through subspace channels, the human voice resonated, calm yet absolute: you have measured us. You have calculated. And yet, you hesitate. Humanity does not act recklessly. Step aside, or witness the consequences of underestimating the Deadworlders. Pride faltered. Confidence shattered. Hesitation spread like wildfire through alien fleets. The galaxy that had assumed humans were extinct now realized the truth: they had not only survived, but they had become something far more dangerous. A species that endured, adapted, and mastered the void itself. The Deadworlders moved with inevitability, threading through alien formations, teaching the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. Even the stars seemed to acknowledge the arrival of the fleet, distant nebulae shimmering with reflected light from engines and shields. As if the universe itself recognized a predator had returned to claim its rightful place among the stars. Humanity did not need to fire a single shot: presence, intellect, and discipline alone commanded the galaxy's attention. And every alien commander, officer, and system knew the unassailable truth: the humans were here, and they were unstoppable. The Deadworlder fleet advanced with the quiet inevitability of a predator moving through its hunting grounds. Each ship glided through the void in perfect unison, their engines casting pale, spectral light across drifting debris and distant nebulae. Fighters arced through formation with lethal grace, carriers maintained protective spirals, and frigates flanked with surgical precision. Every movement was calculated, every maneuver intentional, every position a lesson in strategy and command. The humans had transformed coordination into a weapon more devastating than any cannon or missile. Alien fleets reacted frantically, scrambling to reorganize, launching patrols and drones, activating shields and countermeasures. Yet every effort was anticipated, every calculation undone. Drones twisted helplessly through distorted subspace, sensor readings fragmented, and targeting arrays failed to produce reliable data. The Deadworlders moved as though the void itself bent to their understanding, threading through enemy formations without haste but with absolute certainty. No shots were fired, yet their presence alone radiated authority and unyielding dominance. The lead human warship, immense and angular, glided at the center of the fleet, its hull scarred by past conflicts yet gleaming under the reflected light of distant stars. Its shields bent light into intricate fractals, engines pulsed with a rhythm both hypnotic and terrifying, and every vessel in the formation seemed to anticipate the other's movements with uncanny precision. Observers, alien and automated alike, felt a chilling realization: this was not a fleet in the conventional sense. This was a living demonstration of discipline, intelligence, and inevitability. Humanity had mastered space itself. Not through firepower, but through foresight, unity, and the unrelenting assertion of will. Across subspace channels, the human voice resonated, calm and deliberate, carrying centuries of survival and defiance. You have observed. You have calculated. And yet, you hesitate. Humanity does not yield. Step back, or learn the consequences of underestimating the Deadworlders. Alien officers faltered. Pride collided with instinct, and hesitation rippled through every fleet. The Deadworlders did not need to engage weapons to command submission. Every arc of a fighter, every shift of a frigate, every pulse of a shield projected mastery. The galaxy that had assumed humanity extinct now understood a terrifying truth: humans had survived, evolved, and become predators of the void, capable of commanding the cosmos itself. The stars themselves seemed to watch, nebulae reflecting the spectral glow of human engines, as if the universe itself acknowledged the arrival of a species it had long misjudged. Humanity had returned, not as victims, not as supplicants, but as hunters, and every civilization across the galaxy would soon remember that presence. The Deadworlder fleet pressed deeper into the alien coalition's territory, moving with the inevitability of an apex predator threading through its hunting grounds. Each ship's engines glowed with a calm, deliberate blue, illuminating drifting debris, shattered satellites, and distant nebulae in spectral hues. Fighter wings swept in coordinated arcs around carriers, frigates flanked with unerring precision, and capital ships adjusted their formations with a grace that seemed almost sentient. Every movement projected discipline, foresight, and an understanding of space and strategy far beyond the comprehension of the fleets they encountered. Alien fleets struggled to react. Patrols surged forward, drones were launched, and targeting systems recalculated, yet every maneuver faltered before the quiet authority of the humans. Drones twisted helplessly through subspace distortions. Automated targeting arrays returned fragmented data. Calculations that once predicted victory collapsed under the subtle, invisible pressure of human anticipation. The Deadworlders commanded the void not through weapons, but through mastery, patience, and an unshakable presence. The lead warship moved at the center of the formation, immense and angular, its hull reflecting distant stars and nebulae in fractured patterns. Shields bent light into fractal designs, and engines pulsed with a steady rhythm that resonated across the fleet, a heartbeat of inevitability. Observers, alien and automated, recognized instinctively that this was no ordinary military maneuver. This was a demonstration of strategy and supremacy, a reminder that intellect, coordination, and patience could dominate entire fleets without a single shot being fired. Fighter wings carved spirals, carriers maintained protective arcs, and frigates flanked in perfect symmetry. Every alien attempt to outmaneuver, flank, or calculate a weakness was anticipated and countered by subtle shifts in formation. The humans moved as if the void itself obeyed their command, threading through enemy formations with elegance and deadly inevitability. Each calculated pause, each subtle adjustment, conveyed mastery and silent authority, teaching a lesson that numbers or weapons alone could never convey. Through subspace channels, the human voice resonated, calm yet absolute, "You have observed our fleet. You have measured our presence. And yet, you hesitate. Humanity does not act recklessly. Step back, respect survival, or witness the consequences of underestimating the Deadworlders." The words carried centuries of survival, defiance, and unbroken will. Alien commanders faltered, pride colliding with logic, hesitation spreading through entire fleets. Humanity had displayed mastery, strategy, and restraint without a single shot fired, proving that intellect, coordination, and unwavering resolve could dominate the cosmos. The Deadworlder fleet advanced, threading alien formations with deliberate inevitability. Every system, every observer, every officer felt the same truth settle across their hearts. Humans were hunters, the void belonged to no one, and the presence of the Deadworlders would leave an imprint across the galaxy that no civilization would ever forget. The fleet's engines pulsed steadily, a river of light through the darkness, leaving alien fleets to reckon with a species that had returned not merely to survive, but to command. Humanity had become a force the galaxy would never underestimate again. The Deadworlder fleet moved deeper into the alien heart of space, a silent, inevitable tide of steel and energy that seemed to stretch across the void. Engines glowed with a steady, pale blue, casting ethereal reflections on nearby asteroid belts and drifting cosmic debris. Fighters carved arcs with lethal elegance, carriers maintained protective spirals, and frigates shifted with surgical precision. Each maneuver was deliberate, calculated, and impossibly precise, displaying a level of coordination and mastery that alien observers had never encountered. The humans had turned discipline into a weapon, foresight into an unstoppable force. Alien fleets scrambled, desperate to intercept. Patrols surged forward, drones were launched in waves, shields flared, and automated weapons systems fired preemptively. Yet every attempt faltered. Drones twisted helplessly in warped subspace currents, targeting arrays returned incomplete or corrupted data, and calculations that should have dictated victory crumbled before the human subtle but unyielding control. The Deadworlders did not need to strike to assert dominance, their presence alone commanded the void. At the center of the formation, the lead human warship moved with deliberate majesty. Massive, angular, and scarred by battles past, its hull reflected nebulae and distant stars like fractured glass. Shields bent light into fractal patterns, engines pulsed with an unrelenting rhythm, and every vessel around it moved in perfect synchrony. Observers, alien and automated alike, felt an almost tangible authority emanating from the fleet. This was not mere military might, it was intellect, patience, and mastery made manifest. Humanity had returned not as prey, not as negotiators, but as apex predators of the void. Fighter wings weaved intricate spirals, carriers adjusted positions seamlessly, and frigates flanked in perfect coordination. Every alien attempt to flank, outmaneuver, or overwhelm was anticipated and countered before it began. Humans moved through the void as if they had mapped it in their minds, threading through enemy formations with elegance and inevitability. Their discipline and patience were weapons sharper than any cannon, and every alien commander felt the weight of that realization pressing upon them. Through subspace channels, the human voice carried, calm and resonant, unwavering in its authority, "You have observed. You have calculated. And yet, you hesitate. Humanity does not yield. Step aside, or witness the consequences of underestimating the Deadworlders." The words bore centuries of survival, defiance, and unbroken will. Alien officers faltered, pride clashing with instinct, hesitation spreading like wildfire across fleets. Humanity had displayed mastery without firing a shot, proving that intellect, coordination, and unrelenting resolve could dominate entire civilizations. The Deadworlder fleet continued its slow, deliberate advance, leaving alien formations frozen in awe. Engines pulsed steadily, hulls reflecting nebulae and distant stars, a river of light flowing through the darkness. Humanity had not destroyed. Humanity had not conquered. Yet they had commanded. They had reshaped the galaxy's understanding of survival, strategy, and the quiet, inevitable power of a species that refused to yield. Every observation post, every fleet, every alien commander carried the same realization: humans were hunters, and the Deadworlder's arrival would be remembered across the stars for generations. The galaxy had underestimated humanity. That mistake would never be repeated. The Deadworlder fleet moved through the void with unyielding purpose, engines casting soft blue light across drifting debris, asteroid belts, and distant nebulae. Every vessel shifted with perfect synchronicity, a living organism of steel, energy, and intellect. Fighter wings carved arcs with surgical precision, carriers maintained protective spirals, and frigates flanked with flawless coordination. Every movement was calculated, deliberate, and absolute, a demonstration of mastery over space itself. Alien fleets scrambled, launching wave after wave of patrols and drones, activating shields and recalculating attack strategies. Yet every maneuver faltered before human anticipation. Drones twisted helplessly through warped subspace, sensors returned corrupted data, and targeting arrays failed to produce actionable results. The Deadworlders moved not through aggression, but through presence, intellect, and the quiet assertion of dominance. Every observer across the galaxy understood instinctively: humans had returned, and they were predators of the void. The lead warship, immense and angular, pulsed with energy that radiated authority. Its hull reflected distant stars and swirling nebulae, shields bending light into intricate fractals, engines emitting a steady rhythm like the heartbeat of inevitability. Every vessel in the fleet moved as if guided by a single conscious mind, anticipating threats, exploiting gaps, and reinforcing strengths with perfect coordination. Alien commanders felt the chilling truth: superiority in numbers or firepower was meaningless against humans who had mastered patience, foresight, and ruthless discipline. Fighter wings wove complex spirals, carriers maintained protective arcs, and frigates flanked with calculated elegance. Every alien attempt to maneuver or attack faltered, every strategy collapsed under the unrelenting precision of the Deadworlders. Humanity did not need to fire a single shot. Their presence alone commanded submission, awe, and respect. The galaxy that had assumed humans were extinct now understood the terrifying reality: they had survived, evolved, and become apex predators of the cosmos. Through subspace channels, the human voice resonated across fleets, calm, measured, and absolute: you have measured us. You have calculated. And yet, you hesitate. Humanity does not act recklessly. We do not yield. Respect survival, or learn the consequences of underestimating the Deadworlders. The words carried the weight of centuries of survival, defiance, and unbroken will. Alien officers faltered. Pride collided with instinct. Hesitation rippled through fleets. Humanity had displayed mastery, restraint, and authority without firing a shot, teaching the galaxy a lesson no calculation could undo. The Deadworlder fleet began its deliberate withdrawal, engines pulsing steadily, leaving alien formations frozen in awe and disbelief. Fighter wings arced perfectly, frigates flanked precisely, carriers maintained elegant spirals, and every vessel moved with disciplined order. Humanity had not conquered. Humanity had not destroyed. Yet they had commanded, reshaping the galaxy's understanding of power, strategy, and survival. Every observation post, every fleet, every civilization felt the same truth settle across the stars: humans were hunters, the void belonged to no one, and the legend of the Deadworlders would echo through the galaxy for generations.